Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, I'm Kristina from Leafy Luster, and today I want to talk about my Hoyas. I love my Hoyas very dearly, and based on my experience with them, I have categorized them into beginner-friendly to intermediate Hoyas. I've based this on stuff like growing conditions, do they propagate well, are they rare, are they pricey, stuff like that, so let's get right into it. Starting with beginner Hoyas, number 1 on our list is the Hoya Pubicalyx. So this is her, my Hoya Pubicalyx. She's quite a unit by now because she's my first ever Hoya. I got her as one of my first plants and she's still doing really great, which goes to show that she can handle beginner plant parents. She is the most forgiving plant that I own in terms of water, light, fertilization, repotting. She can tolerate truly everything. I had her in an east-facing window first, then now she's in a southwest-facing window, so low to very direct, bright light. She can handle all of that. And in terms of watering, she is not very thirsty at all. But whenever she is thirsty, you can check on the leaves when they are bendy and squishy, then you can water. I think it's called the taco test. I really just feel the leaves. They are quite thick and sturdy usually, so if they get bendy and a little bit softer, you know it's time. I have taken multiple cuttings of her and they always take very well. The most cool thing in terms of appearance is she's very splashy. She has gorgeous, very splashy leaves. It's not linked to the light, but the splashiness of your Hoya can vary. And also the new leaves come in a very dark purple or reddish brown color and then fade into green over time, and this looks so cool, especially with the splashiness on the leaves. It's gorgeous. So Hoya Pubicalyx, definitely one of my favorites. Number 2 on the list, it's definitely the Hoya Crimson Queen, also a classic, very affordable as well. You can find it in almost every garden center, but she's also very low maintenance in my opinion. This plant can handle low to medium light as well. I have her currently in a very bright direct sunspot. She can handle it for sure, but you have to be a little bit careful. The leaves can bleach a little bit, but she can withstand it. And I also have one in a north-facing window doing fine as well. In terms of watering, this one is not thirsty at all. In terms of cost, she's very affordable. Almost every garden center has this plant available. In terms of prettiness, she is also very stunning. She has variegation. Sometimes you get these all white leaves. These are not optimal, I would say, but they are very pretty. They most likely are going to die eventually. You get leaves like this one, for example. And the new leaves come in with a light rosy color. It's very beautiful. So Hoya Crimson Queen, also very pretty plant. She is gorgeous. Moving on to number 3, Hoya Compacta Carnosa. Hoya Carnosa Compacta, this way around. My boyfriend calls it lovingly the tortellini plant. In terms of watering, she's also very easy. You can, again, I will repeat myself a lot in this video. You can squish the leaves and you will know if she needs water or not. I have her in a east-facing window, so low to medium light, I would say, and she's doing just fine. The new growth is not exfoliated. It's nice and compact, pretty tight if you ask me, so we're all good. It's a very affordable plant as well, at least here in Europe or in Germany. You can find her in hardware stores or garden centers. In terms of propagation, she is quite easy to root, but I think she's a very slow grower in general. So you will have to have a little bit of patience with this one. If you're looking for a Hoya that is blooming a lot, I will recommend this one. In summer, she is blooming constantly for me. I had about like 4 or 5 blooms this year. It's my 2nd year of owning her, I believe. Yes, I am more of a foliage girl myself, but I have to say Hoya blooms in person are something else. They are really gorgeous. Moving on to 2 more beginner-friendly Hoyas in my care. Number 4, we have 2 little baby Hoyas still. I cannot really tell you a lot about them, but they are keeping up with my bullshit, so I think they are pretty low maintenance as well. We have those 2 little cute baby Hoyas. This one is a Hoya Tricolor, I believe. Really cute, very colorful, and So far she's growing well. And then this very, very basic Hoya Carnosa, I think it is. So it's just the Carnosa, no Compacta, no Crimson Queen, just the very, very basic one. Has really light speckling as well. She's just chilling. She has the thickest Hoya leaves ever. She's very durable, keeping up very well. Cute. With this, I would like to go a little bit higher into the realm of intermediate Hoyas. The Hoyas in the intermediate sections are a little bit harder to find. They cost a little bit more than your classic garden center Hoyas. I had a few difficulties with them, so I wouldn't say they are particularly super mega easy, but they are also not the most hard to care for in the world. Starting with number 5. I'm sorry. Starting with number 5 on our list is this Hoya Linearis. In my experience, it wasn't all nice with her. It might have been just bad luck. In terms of watering, I treat her the same as the others, but I will have to say with this one, you really need to be on your toes in regards to watering, because I found that if I let her dry out too much and then I water her again afterwards normally, then she will get root rot. And I had really bad root rot issues in the beginning. I almost lost my entire big pot of Linearis. I tried to propagate the remaining growth. Since it was already affected by root rot, it was really difficult to really get it to stick. You can really easily take 1-note cuttings, then propagate them in perlite, moss or whatever. It's not as easy in my opinion because they tend to rot a lot. I suspect that the humidity in my propagation boxes was too high, hence why they started to rot. It was better when I had it in perlite and an open container. Right now she's in my southwest facing window, but she's covered behind another plant because I find that she didn't like the direct sun. I think this plant is very affordable, at least in Europe or Germany at the moment, between like 9 to 20 euros, which is pretty good. So this plant is a really fast grower in my opinion, especially in autumn to winter time. She really exploded with growth. You can see new leaves coming in almost every day. They are fussy and really cute. This plant is blooming mostly in winter or in the cold season. I have had one peduncle, it was before the root incident, but come on, this plant is so pretty. It's one of my most pretty hanging plants for sure. Just the growth pattern is so special. So, back you go. Number 6 on the list. Number 6 is the Hoya Obovata. So I have her here staked up on this ring. She's way more easy than I imagined her to be. She's very vocal about watering as well. The leaves are usually pretty firm and sturdy, so whenever they get squishy, I water. I have her in a southwest facing window, so she gets a lot of bright light and she seems to be happy with that. She's a pretty quick grower, even though she has those big, beautiful leaves and she seems a bit chunky. She's not even a year old and she gave me like 10 new leaves in this one growing season. I got her in my Casa Botanica haul right here and she was a cute tiny baby with like 4 leaves and now she is this huge thing, so she's doing really well and she is quite low maintenance in my opinion. She is a little bit more pricey here in Europe. I don't know why. It for sure is no rare Hoya. She's quite common by now. I haven't had blooms yet, but I know that they look so cute and I can't wait for this one to flower, maybe next year. I haven't propagated this one as well. I want to grow it out a little first. But she's already having so many aerial roots on the stem, so I think it should be fine. Let's get to number 7. 7, which is the Hoya Mathilde. I got this one from Casa Botanica as well and she was so cute. She was a super splashy specimen as well. Gorgeous, and she did so well in the beginning. I had her in a southwest facing window as well, so lots of bright light. She seemed to be doing fine there. She grew quite significantly. As far as watering, same as all other Hoyas. When squishy, I water. And yeah, she got root rot. So my beautiful big plant got root rot. I noticed quite fast. I had plenty of time to propagate all of the strands, so I cut her up completely, cut off the rotten pieces, and then propagated all of the rest. Opened the curtain for my Hoya Mathilde, so she's in here, here, and here. So this is my Hoya Mathilde. I really am kicking myself that I let this happen. I think I forgot to water her once, and then after watering the next time she kind of got root rot, and it really sucks because she was so gorgeous and one of my wishlist plants. Most of them are ready to be potted up, so I will do that soon. If you want to see this, let me know. In terms of propagation, I can now tell you that she propagates really well. Almost all of the cuttings made it and are already producing tons of roots and new growth, so I think it's pretty good. The price is a little bit more on the hefty side as well. I got an extra splashy specimen, so this was extra too. To this day, I don't know if the splashy one is really different than the normal one, but you know, never mind. All in all, a really good plant. Hasn't bloomed yet. Obviously, she's cut up. How should she? Moving on from this little planty, moving up to number 8 on the list, we have my Hoya Serpens. Also a plant from Casa Botanica. I was a little bit afraid because I heard she's a little bit fussy and that they are difficult to care for. But I think she's doing well so far. No root rot issues. And she also grew quite a bit from the time when I got her. She is a cutie. She has really tiny leaves and they are a little bit fuzzy as well. So I watered this one when the leaves get soft. I have her also in a southwest facing window, but in a little bit more of a shaded spot because they don't like too much direct bright light, I heard. I really try to keep on top of watering to not let her dry out too much in between. Sometimes I notice that the tips get a little bit yellow and dry off, so I still haven't figured out why that is. It's not on all of them. Might be the winter time, might also be incorrect care. She also gets a ton of peduncles, so that's cool, but I never really seen her flower. I'm so terribly afraid that I'm losing this one or that I don't know, kill it somehow. Even if it's not really showing signs of this, I'm just afraid. So I want to have a little bit of a backup plan. So I will probably propagate a few strands, nothing major. These are also not super cheap. They are also a little bit harder to find, but in a good online shop, you might be lucky. This already concludes the Hoyas that I have in pots, but I'm not finished yet. I have 2 more little Hoyas that I would like to rank into the intermediate realm of Hoyas. Since these are just propagations that I traded with an Instagram friend of mine, I cannot really tell you a lot about it, but in terms of propagation, I have noticed big differences. I have them here in one of these prop boxes as well. Let's see if you can spot some of them. So number 9 is the Hoya Krohniana Super Silver or Super Eskimo. It's basically just a Hoya Krohniana that is so splashy that the whole leaf is basically covered in the splash and is very light and silvery. And number 10 on the list would be the Hoya Macrophylla Variegata. I put these in at the same time. The Hoya Krohniana was really quick to root and also produce new growth. The Hoya Macrophylla was so slow to produce some roots. I see one little baby shoot, and the Hoya Krohniana already has like 4 or 5 new leaves and a proper stem to show off. So I would rank the Krohniana as number 9 and the Macrophylla as number 10. I haven't seen those in any garden centers either. These you would also have to look up in online shops or, as I did, from private sellers. I know that a lot of people don't like Hoyas. I don't know why, but I hope that this was a little bit of an inspiration for you to maybe get into them. I will leave you with this little video to watch next, and I will see you next time. Until then, enjoy your plants. Goodbye!